All right, we're live for the last time for the first time, however the saying goes. First, let's check and make sure that everything is good on the YouTube front, because God forbid we have more issues this time on YouTube's end. Okay. I'm live again and got Infinite to stop crashing. There we go. That's fine. That's how I'll put it. Let me load up the chat now and see what some of y'all are saying. Hey, hello everybody. Hi. Didn't you say 5 minutes? I did say 5 minutes. Be thankful it did not turn into 5 hours. Almost 2 hours later, the game works. Yeah. I had to do a lot of nonsense to get the game finally working. But hey, it works now, and that's better than, I guess, it not working. Correct? Whoosh. All right, let me now drop this into the Late Night Gaming. To the Late Night Gaming Discord. Okay, let's try this again at everyone. Okay. Do I have to redo my donation from before? Just tell me what your donation was, Phil. Did you reinstall the logo intro video? Says Andrew. You know what? That is what I did. That unfortunately did not help. But what did eventually help was a fresh reinstall, reverting my drivers, and on top of that, going the extra mile to uninstall Reshade. So what I'm almost wondering is if maybe it was an issue of Reshade, you know, and the weird shenanigans it causes to the with the intro video, you know. You probably know the exact problems I'm talking about, but that seemed to be the fix. So, okay. New main menu. Oh, what is this? Is there supposed to be no sound? Okay.
Previously in Halo Infinite.
What on earth? What on earth is this?
We just got word that the Infinity is missing.
A live service narrative event in Halo Infinite?
We built this facility off the grid to train the next generation of Spartans.
Let me know if the audio is okay, alright?
It's not going to be easy, but I believe.
Is it good? Well, we're going to answer that question. Eventually, hopefully. Previously on Halo Infinite, and it's just people playing multiplayer matches.
Back from the hunt.
This Neuralink is corrupted, man. I'll have to pull the chip.
No! Do that, he dies. And we lose everything.
I wonder where this whole banished AI story is going to go.
What exactly did Spartan Din put inside his head? A banished AI.
Who dares to cage the mighty Aratus? I will crush your bodies and feast on the bone.
And then go back to more multiplayer. Like, there's no story yet. So what do they mean previously on Halo Infinite? It's just multiplayer matches.
Carefully. And then get it to tell us everything it knows.
I forgot what... Okay, here we go. Now the real cutscene's starting. Okay.
What exactly did Spartan Din put inside his head? A banished
Apparently it's the justification for the infection mode. I did see that, the banished AI, like, taking over people's Spartan armors. Which is... that's pretty cool. Aesthetically speaking. Okay, this is not Blur. This does not look like Blur. But it looks good.
Because you refuse to see.
There's nothing you can show me that I haven't seen 1,000 times.
Except
I think this is Axis. This looks like Axis Studios.
Go on, I dare you.
Dude, say what you will about the actual story so far and the way that it's being delivered. Joe Staten can direct the hell out of a cutscene, and it is. I don't think Pierre Heinz and Microsoft truly realize how much Halo has lost by pulling Joe Staten off of Halo. Because this is so much more visually creative than Halo Infinite's, the rest of Halo Infinite's campaign, from a cutscene perspective. Like, there's a reason Halo 2's cutscenes were so good. Same with ODSTs. And it was because they had a specific guy behind them.
I smell.
Sure, they aren't in-engine cutscenes. Yeah, they're not in-engine. There's things like per-object motion blur in this. And it's got that you can see compression artifacts.
But in the end, pointless.
If you are going, why is the DMR fully auto? It has a select fire. The DMR's fully auto now? What? Really? Oh, that guy has SPI armor.
Because the truth is this. It always ends the exact
Okay, so
way.
what I'm gathering is he was part... That's him, right? He was part of a Spartan squad that got ambushed, and he was the only survivor, so he has survivor's guilt. And the banished AI, I guess, is still in his brain somewhat, and it's torturing him with the memories. Also, source on Joe being the one to direct this. I asked him. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. All right, let's check out what the new shop. Okay, well, it looks almost exactly the same. There's just some new widgets, I guess. There's even some like animations and stuff. $8 for a coating, a visor, and a stance. It's still, you're basically paying for stuff still that you used to be able to do in previous games, which I'm not a fan of, but by Infinite standards, that's a more reasonable price. This is a very good price, $6 for all of these different coatings. Definitely still think that you should be able to just buy the coating and universally apply it across a bunch of different things, but... Okay, holy moly. This is a lot right here. It is $22 for a bunch of weapon coatings. What appears to be a full new armor set. And a visor, and then some more coatings. Okay, you know what? That's fine for what it's offering, I guess. $3 for silver and red. That's okay. That's okay. It's not exactly $5 for the color blue, is it? Yeah, the prices are a little bit more reasonable. I still think they're unfortunately charging people for stuff that previous Halo games let you just do. But, you know, just trying to look at it within the context of Halo Infinite. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on. I heard people saying that there are problems with the multiplayer playlists. Like, the challenges aren't tracking. Is that correct? Let me also make sure that I didn't do the bandit drill first. Get a feel for it. says Andrew. That's actually a good idea. Q Alter also gifted a membership to Gus. That's really kind of you, Q Alter. Chamops, I think. Is the DMR added to the campaign as well? No. That would have taken a lot of resources and effort that unfortunately they don't have to spare as a studio. Okay, good. All the base armor coatings are here as a default. It's good. I guess I could just do the generic, like, olive. Okay, that's fair. We don't have any helmets unlocked. Let me know if the music is getting too loud, because it is certainly getting loud on my end. Here, I'm gonna throw that on. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to unlock. I mean, it's time will tell how much of this is actually really just a vehicle for microtransaction purchases. Trying to keep some of the cynicism to a low, but just given how long it took me to actually get Halo Infinite working, the last thing I want is to be greeted by a microtransactions shop. Okay. Here, we'll put a grunt there in honor of, or in memory of Joe Staten. Just a little grunt right there. Here's the good old Crisis Core. I think I'll do blue. Okay. But, okay, we're gonna equip the Mirage armor. And then what we are gonna do is exactly what was suggested, which is we're going to hop into the academy, we're going to do a weapon drill, and we're going to check out this this DMR without a scope. Oh, hang on. No, cancel. Let's do it endless. Okay. Check out the free Firefall helmet attachment. There's an attachment for the Firefall helmet? Nice. Music is a little loud. Okay, it's a little loud. People are saying no infection, and yeah, that's what I assumed. That would just be too much after a year and a half adding in the infection mode. Here we go. Okay. Dude.
Go. Act fast, Spartan.
Dude. I'm not getting, like... I think they might have fixed the frame pacing issues. Okay. This thing isn't fully auto. What are people talking about? Okay. Okay. Yeah, this does feel a lot like the Halo 5 Magnum. Just, it doesn't have D-scope. Which, you know, time will tell how, you know, problematic that'll end up being. But really good sound design. And, like, really solid animation work, right? Okay. And I think there is actually a free coating available, which is, it's the Halo Reach color scheme, if I remember right. I heard Shyway was saying that there's been some changes also to the way Slide feels. I don't think I'm familiar enough with, like, enhanced movement. But there is now a... Watch this, watch this. There's a screen shake for a second. Like a weird... I'm not sure if it's, like, happening too quick, but the screen will jerk up and then down really quickly. It happens in, like, a frame. But it feels very weird, and it wasn't there before, and it makes me wonder if something's changed about the way Slide works under the hood. It has a fully auto setting on the model. Oh, it has a full auto setting on the model. Okay, so it's not something you can activate. It was fully auto in the cutscene. Yeah, I saw that, and, like, that's okay. You know, that's okay. People get like really upset when they see guns fully automatic in cutscenes when they're like burst or semi-auto in cutscenes, and it's fine. It's a non-issue. Okay, where's that bandit? Where is it? Here it is. Look at that. The Reach color scheme. Dude, it's a really good looking model. Like 343's modelers, whether they be contractors or actually in-house people, they're like, it's good stuff, man. Okay. I guess let's try out the multiplayer. Skip cinematics. Wait, should we watch it? Good call. Watching it.
You found memories I never told anyone. Details I wish I forgot.
Dean, that desert was a long time ago. There's nothing you could have done to save them.
Death for you and triumph for me. What the hell does that mean?
That I am your friend, and that the thing in your head was not. Oh yeah.
Unique looking
Here's
characters.
the one I told you about. The newest member of our pack. Play nice. This wolf saved your life.
You tell Agrinia not to worry. My head's as good as it ever was.
Maybe that's what she's worried about.
You shove one banished AI into your neural matrix, and everyone panics. Look, I'm not great with thank you. So, here.
That's how you receive the new
Never let me
weapon.
down.
Okay.
You know, I cycle through here for training too. This place is old, just like me.
Yeah, but this still isn't a place. Like, this place...
Iritas didn't care about me.
This firing range, I don't know where it is in relation to the academy, because the academy, I don't know the layout of it. It's not a real place. I can't explore it. So this is cool what they're doing, by the way. They're trying to establish more of like a presence, I guess, within the place with NPCs moving about. But there's a key issue, which is the place doesn't exist, so I don't have any connection to it. These are just cutscenes. See, this I recognize. This is a multiplayer map. Uh-oh. Oni. What dirty tricks are they up to? Man, it is... I get kind of what I think Joe Staten's doing, or what he was doing, because he's not at 343 anymore. It's like, what he's trying to do is create more of a narrative context around the multiplayer experience, like outside of it, I guess. So it's like, obviously you're playing your multiplayer matches and stuff, but you get a better sense that there is actually like a, you know, when the match is up, you go to the locker, you rinse off the sweat of the day, and there's all these characters moving about. And it's interesting because, like, that banished AI idea, like, obviously it's silly and goofy and it looks kind of like Crash Bandicoot, but it's fun in that it's not necessarily scary on its own right, you know, the banished AI or, like, these characters, you know, they're not exactly the most complex things in the world, but, like, the Halo universe is starting to intrude into the multiplayer experience, narratively speaking. The gameplay is the same, but narratively, it's actually starting... You're getting a sense that, like, the multiplayer training stuff, it's having more weight now because things are starting to affect it negatively. If we've seen the infection leaks, which we all have... it's cool that the justification for the infection game type is Slayer matches are now going wrong because the banished AI is hijacking them. it's cool. Like, I see what's starting to be done now. Like, Season 2 was awful, and not a very good start to this narrative event. But now, like, I'm starting to see it, you know? We've got that Oni stuff. Like, obviously, there's some weird shenanigans going on with Oni and this training facility that nobody else is talking about. Or even knows about. We got this banished AI that is starting to play havoc in the multiplayer arena. I get it. I get it now. I'm starting to get a better sense of, like, a wider multiplayer narrative. And especially if we're going to be going to 3-month seasons, then those narrative things will be coming much faster. And it sucks now that Joe Staten's gone. So the architect of where this is all going, he is not relevant anymore. And chances are, after this banished AI thing is done, it'll be new. It'll be a new creative team doing something completely different, and it'll be unrelated to whatever Joe was working on. So it's like, great, awesome. After a year, why no banished or Covey skins? Probably the same reason why after a year we still don't have Infection as a game type or the shell-loading shotgun for the Infection game type. It's just the same reason Halo Infinite is in the situation it's been in. Lack of resources, hiring freeze, poor leadership, poor choices made during the development, rough engine, tech debt. Honestly, as a Halo veteran, this game is done. With Joe gone, Infinite is doomed. At least what we can enjoy is the next couple seasons of what Joe has worked on. But yeah, narratively speaking, I'm kind of bummed. Well, no, I'm a lot bummed that Joe is gone. Come on. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit closer. I also noticed the maps are getting more creative as the DLCs go on. Like, the way that Halo Infinite launched, live fire and stuff, those were like, you know, the death of creativity. But stuff like this is, like, pretty fun, at least, and unique layout-wise, right? There we go. Damn it, I was going to say, I could just switch to the gravity hammer, because if I remember right, that has that insta melee glitch, where if you try to counter the hammer with a sword, your hammer will kill faster than the swing animation plays out. Alright. And there's no melee, or there's no friendly fire, so you can just swing to your heart's content, and you'll be okay. Alright. Damn it. Heatwave is basically a shell-loading shotgun. What do you mean? The Heatwave has too much range to be the shell-loading shotgun, as well as too much its range and predictability. Like, what's nice about the shell-loading shotgun is that it's this moment where the zombie is right in front of you, and either you're gonna fire first or the zombie's gonna swing first, and whoever pulls the trigger fastest gets the kill. And it's contained to close range. But the heat wave, you can bounce and bank around shots. And if you're very good at the heat wave, chances are it could probably become, like, very annoying for the zombies when a whole team is firing off heat wave shots and there's just hard light bouncing all around the map. Somebody probably could fuse the Bulldog to the heat wave. That way, you've got the Heatwave's shell loading with the Bulldog's short range. I hope the new team learned from working with Joe. Well, what new team? 110 people, probably 130 lost their jobs. So I guess it's whoever's left at 343. Let's hope that they learned quite a bit from working with Joe. That's kind of the problem, right? Is 343. They Pierre Heinz deemed it single-player narrative stuff, not really a priority going forward. So you have a lot of people who work on the narrative stuff getting the axe. And so now it's like, what's the future going to hold? Damn it. Infinite in the UK has less players than Battlefield 2042. Does it? That's sad. Well, I guess not. Battlefield 2042 has surprisingly been able to turn it around. It's a shame DICE is in, like, the same situation that they were with Battlefield 5. But... what does that sound? But Battlefield 2042, God bless them. It's actually a good time now. It never reaches the heights of previous Battlefield games, but where it is right now is really, really good fun. If you can stomach the specialists. Those aren't going anywhere, unfortunately. Have you seen Inspirational Magnum's Halo Infinite review? Part 2 came out. I think I saw part 1 of his review, and maybe I'm thinking of a different person. He spent 5 full minutes just insulting the game before getting to his point. He was like, it's embarrassingly bad. Like, before I even begin, let me talk about how bad it is and how bad. And it's like, oh my god, you just love the sound of your own voice. And so I just clicked out of the video because it was like, this isn't a review of Halo Infinite. This is just a guy complaining about the game. There was a pretty good review, though, where somebody broke down why he didn't think the open world worked very well, and he brought up really good points. It was the same guy who made that video about how Halo ruined a generation of shooters. And I don't necessarily agree with that opinion, but that guy's video on Halo Infinite's open world was actually really good. He walked away from the game not really enjoying it, but he was able to explain what it was that he thought didn't work very well without just straight up insulting the game.
In my sights.
Did they add a progression system yet? Only way I'd think about playing again. No. Still no progression system.
Ageless power.
We're still in XP beta. Oh boy. That was a mistake running out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't the full tutorial in the academy not run you through the firing range to live fire map? So it is a real place in the cutscene you were talking about. That's a tutorial. That's a jungle gym tutorial. Like, I can't return to it and just explore, you know? Those cutscenes would hit a lot harder if it was like the tower in Destiny, where it was a place you returned to and interacted with on a regular basis.
Disinfection complete.
Bank shot.
Because a parkour mechanic for new players who might not have played Halo, I don't think that makes the academy any more real. Because as of right now, it's just, you know, it's just a little tab on the main menu where you can go into, like, firing drills.
Double kill.
Hey, we got the bandit. Okay. Okay, oh boy. You got some weird weapon offsets, my friend. I know, right? I think some of these are still set this way because of my Halo Infinite early 2000s trailer. I've got them, like, really big on the screen. That way you can see the... Okay. This thing feels great. I wish it had D-scope, but man, it feels really good to fire. Nice and responsive. Good animations, good feedback. Here, let's actually fix those weapon offsets. Rifle.
Subject now perforated.
Damn it. Okay. Have you played Lightfall? I haven't played Lightfall yet. I don't even own it yet. How is Lightfall? I just finished The Witch Queen, though. That campaign is a lot of fun. I also got that crazy exotic weapon where you put Savathun's worm into the gun and it becomes the ammunition. Oh boy. Okay, this is fun. Yes. Okay.
Plus inertia.
Oh man. Oh boy. Oh, come on. Damn it. I could have gotten a triple kill with the skull. That was fun. that was good fun. If I were to include the M90 or its point blank insta-kill derivatives, I wouldn't make the energy sword player usable. Excessive combat roll overlap. I wouldn't make the energy sword player usable. Oh, the energy sword player usable. I see what you mean. I do think that there is value when it comes to the infection game type, but I don't think you necessarily have to put the sword on maps where the shotgun is available. Okay, we got some new stuff. We got a new shoulder by the looks of it. Here, let's go again. I heard that there's also new big team battle starts. Is that correct? As well as finally, a year and a half later, we can customize our armor during loading. There we go. That's cool. Oh, I haven't unlocked the right shoulder yet, I don't think. No, I have. Okay. No, I have not. Never mind. All right. Well, we'll get it eventually. Spooky just donated $2. I appreciate it, Spooky. That's very kind of you. Been playing since launch. Lightfall sucked as a story. Yeah, I saw that. Lightfall's story isn't that good. Is the gameplay at least good? All right, is this still the same? Okay, it's just Slayer by the looks of it. I hope Halo starts doing these DLC like Destiny does with its campaigns. Unfortunately, I doubt we're going to see a Halo Infinite campaign DLC.
Outkill your opponents and claim victory.
The people who could have put campaign DLC together no longer work at 343.
We're flying now.
I'm not good with the sniper, so I'm not even bothering to pick it up. Where are they? Oh boy. Damn it. Okay. The story put too much focus into the new subclass. That's what I saw the consensus was. Is it a side effect, possibly, of Bungie splitting up Lightfall into two things? Because it was originally just Lightfall, and that was the final DLC, and then they, at some point, split it up into Lightfall and the final shape. So I almost wonder if there's been some, like, dividing up the story, cutting it up. Because there's also some, I guess, speculation that the Strand subclass was cut from the Witch Queen. I'm not sure how much credibility that has. You guys might be able to speak to it more than I can. Let's grab this Bandit rifle. Damn it. Okay. Only exception I'll make is the sword is an SPV3 style equipment or armor ability, or the designated insta-kill shotgun functions like the Enforcer. I like the way SPV3 did the energy sword, at least in Combat Evolved's combat loop. Because there is some, like, credibility to the idea that the energy sword, like, what it encourages from players is just running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Like, it doesn't really kind of, like, bring tactical gameplay out of players in the same way something like the shotgun does. Like, for some reason, people pick up the energy sword and they just immediately start running around with it. So it was kind of interesting that in order to kind of preserve the more tactical gameplay of Halo Combat Evolved, the solution was turn the sword into a temporary armor ability that you could just activate. Oop. Damn it. Okay, we lost it. Locke should have been an infinite story. Well, I don't know about that, but I think Infinite's story was great. I don't think Locke would have necessarily made it even better. Guessing Halo Infinite's actual lifespan. Great content. My opinion is I think that Halo Infinite probably has 4 years. 4 years. I'm going to say 4 years. So probably 2026 or 2027, we're probably going to see another Halo title. Whether it is a traditional style Halo title or something completely different, I have no clue. But Halo Infinite's not going to be it for 10 years, you know? I think Halo Infinite could have been it if it wasn't free to play. But I think the idea of kind of like competing with Fortnite, like that's not what this game is going to have going for it. The free to play thing is nice, but without that, the fact that anybody can try the game for free with no stakes means a lot of people are going to try out the game and then just leave it, and they won't spend a dime on it. Versus something like Halo 5 or past Halo titles, where at least if you wanted to try it, you had to buy in, you know? So there was still money that was brought in, even from people who didn't necessarily stick with the game. In this case, though, a lot more can be lost.
We're flying now. Active camo obtained.
All right, we got the active camo. Let's try going this way. Let's do a little sneaky sneak. Damn it. Okay. The double barrel shotgun leaked is in game right now. No, it's not in game yet. The double barrel shotgun. That's probably honestly going to be coming in, like, if not the next season, then the season after it. I doubt we're going to have a new weapon every single season, unfortunately, just because, you know, that's the way 343 does things. But the double barrel, I assume we'll probably be seeing it sometime soon-ish. Oh boy. Let's pick up some of these little grenades.
Power items now available.
Could you imagine Locke being the Banished's first victim? I don't think Locke would be the Banished's first victim, to be honest. I don't like Locke as a character, but Locke, let's be honest, he would not go down without a fight. As money-grabbing as Microsoft was with Infinite's cosmetics, I'm surprised they didn't do the Reach thing and let co-op players bring their Spartans into the campaign. Well, let's be honest, okay? It was not Microsoft, okay? It was definitely 343, their business team and their live service team when it came to the microtransactions handling. 343 gave Microsoft quite a bit of autonomy when it came to how they were going to handle the business of Halo Infinite. But, yeah, it is kind of like... It's kind of like shocking, at least, that they didn't also allow us to kind of like monetize the campaign. Like, could you imagine if we could dress up Master Chief in the campaign? Like, obviously, it's Master Chief's story, but, I mean, they got rid of red versus blue so that they could monetize people's colors. So it's not exactly like, you know, certain cherished things are outside of the realm of throwing away. Like, they could have easily let players customize their own Master Chiefs in the campaign. You know, you want Master Chief to do the Halo Infinite campaign with the SPI armor? Yeah. Go ahead. Thought I saw somebody up there. This map's cool. Instantly, I've very positive vibes from this map. I like it quite a bit. In the same essence, I'm also considering armor abilities in my own project, but with an equipment-style slant on it that marries the boons of both. Interesting. So is it... Are they going to be finite or infinite abilities with a charge-up time? And if they are finite, do you plan to have some kind of, like, equipment recharge station? I love being outgunned by a sidekick with the BR. Yeah, I know. I feel like if you pick up a gun off of the wall, you shouldn't be easily outgunned with the weapon most players started with, unless it is some kind of competitive starts thing, like battle rifle starts. Like in social playlists, at least. I feel like your starter weapons should be fine, but you are encouraged to pick up better weapons off the ground. Kill any enemy Spartans with the energy sword or gravity hammer. Okay. Alright. We have to play this playlist, don't we? In order to get some of these challenges done. What are your thoughts on the Bandit? It feels good. It feels really good to use. I definitely see what they meant by they were trying to bring back the Halo 5 Magnum in the form of the Bandit. And it's the 5-shot kill. I think it works like... So, okay, if 343 does not want to make the Halo Infinite battle rifle take more skill to use, then reverting back to the Halo 5 Magnum, I think that was probably the smartest bet they had. And the Bandit does feel really good to use. My only notes would be it needs to have a descope function because it does still have quite a bit of range. That's a note that I also share with the assault rifle and the sidekick. Like, if you're going to give these weapons range, you need to also have a descope system. Because when you're in a fight with the Bandit and you've got people across the room and you're shooting at each other and you can't knock the aim off, then that does cause like a bit of problems in the Halo combat loop. It's really like the second you get into a firefight, you need to kill the other guy or you're gonna die. Like, there's no way to kind of force the guy off of you so that you can double back and retreat, you know? That's what the kind of combat dance that Descope brought was. There was always a plan B. If you couldn't kill the guy, you could keep descoping him and force him to retreat or give you enough time to fall back to a safe position. Now you don't really have that, so it's just the second you're spotted, you got to kill the guy or you're going to be killed because you're not going to knock his aim off of you. I was thinking more along the lines of the HEV battery pickups that charge your auxiliary energy. The limited use of equipment with the permanence of abilities. Okay, got it. Interesting ideas, dude. Anyone else think the Bandit not having ADS is weird? I think the Bandit having ADS would be a lot weirder. Like, in my opinion, the Halo 5 Magnum animation where you literally Call of Duty style aim down the sights of it, I'm like, that's like icky in Halo. Call me old-fashioned, but aiming down the sights should not be in Halo. Okay, we are still on 94%. Something tells me this map's not going to load, and I hope I'm wrong. Well, I guess we could at least customize our man a little bit, since they added this feature, which is nice. I don't know, man. It's just, you know, it's still Halo Infinite. There's still no infection. There's still no firefight. Still no progression system. It's like a DMR without a scope was added. And granted, like, it does shake up the feeling of combat quite a bit, because it's a new utility weapon, but it's still like there's foundational issues still that the game has not resolved, even with the introduction of Forge. I'm still pissed this update kills Steam Deck support for Infinite. It does, doesn't it? I saw people tweeting about that. I don't know, man. It's 343. Like, that stuff slips through the cracks a lot with them, unfortunately. How's the season, LNG? It's a season. Confused what you mean about the Halo 5 Magnum being COD style. There's a ton of ADS guns in Halo. No, there are guns with scopes attached to them, and you click the right stick, and you zoom the scope in. Until Halo 5, there has never been a gun where you sprint, slide, and then physically aim down the sights with it by pressing the left trigger. That's what I mean by Call of Duty style. It's like, let me put it this way. If Call of Duty never existed, I don't think Halo 5 would have had a literal aiming down the sights function mapped to the left trigger with animations to complement it. It probably would have stuck with its traditional zoom system. And not to mention also Halo 5's aiming down the sights. It also provides accuracy and red reticle benefits. So you do also get accuracy buffs for aiming down the sight in Halo 5. Yeah, zoom does not equal ADS. That's the point I'm trying to get across. There is a difference between the zoom function and Halo 5's aiming down the sights.
They'll think twice next time.
Let's go. Oh, no. Oh, nice save. Okay. Yeah, there's people running around with swords, hammers, all sorts. See? Always use the hammer if you want to out melee the energy sword. For some reason, the hammer, you can actually kill people quicker with it. Oh, boy. God damn it. If you play on live fire and go to the Oni door, there's some spooky noises. There's spooky noises near the Oni door? That's exciting. Okay, we'll check it out. Damn it. Okay. LNG, I've always loved your streams. The way you talk with your fans is just awesome. Keep it up, man. I'm glad you think so. I like doing the streams, too. I'm glad I'm entertaining. Oh, boy. What other games have you guys been playing? Rebecca and I have actually been getting into Star Wars Battlefront 2. We've been on a bit of a Star Wars kick. We just finished The Force Awakens, and we've been watching all the movies in chronological order. All right, good. Let's hop up here. From what I gather, right, the current meta, I guess, for vehicle combat is to actually use the Hydra, right? Because the second that you put a vehicle into the doomed state, it just takes like a single explosion, right, to then detonate it. So basically use the Hydra to get the vehicle into a doomed state, and then one more missile, and it'll instantly explode. Metroid Prime Remastered is perfect. Dude, Metroid Prime Remastered is so good. That's actually my first experience with Metroid Prime 2. Not 2 as in the sequel, just, you know, Metroid Prime as well. Boy. And yeah, Metroid Prime is a really good game. I'm very happy that I got the remaster. I'm loving it quite a bit.
Good shooting, Spartan.
Come on, damn it. Okay. Guilty Gear Strive. I've heard that's pretty good. Destiny 2 Lightfall, for myself, story is bad, but I love the gameplay. That seems to be the poster quote for Destiny, right? Story's not that good, but man, the gameplay's really good. Yeah, I just personally finished up Witch Queen's campaign. And I'm really enjoying the worm exotic weapon that I got. Best season in my opinion. For Halo Infinite, yeah. This is definitely much better than Season 2. A lot of the feedback, it seems, was kind of like taken on board, which is very nice. Jesus, man.
Halfway to victory.
Your streams are always so chill. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think so. It's definitely a challenge to be able to play the game while also making conversation, but I try. I think it also probably says something about Halo Infinite's Forge mode that I still am like not quite sure if this is a Forge map. Like, I feel like I'm constantly second-guessing myself. Like, I don't trust this map. It might be a Forge map. But I can't tell because Halo Infinite's Forge is so good. Oh, boy. Oh, haven't they also given us the ability now to edit developer-made maps? I gotta try that out. Oh, boy. I would love to take a crack at making live fire a little bit more interesting. Oh boy. Okay. This is problematic. Let's try going this way. Oh my gosh. That thing saved me. How is the Shroud screen? For anybody who's gotten a chance to use it yet. Damn it. Okay. I mean, Chasm is practically straight from the campaign, right? I don't think it's ripped from the campaign, because, like, as far as multiplayer maps go, you can't, like, do that anymore. Like, it's not quite that easy. You do need to still play test it, and the environment does still need to be set up to work within a multiplayer map framework. But it does seem like they were able to skirt around, you know, some probably design issues by just using quite a bit of campaign geometry. I'm not sure. I'd love to actually talk to somebody who is responsible for Chasm. Like, is it different from making an original map from the ground up? Okay. Hopefully we can use this if anybody tries to catch us by surprise. There we go. I think this has a shroud screen, doesn't it? Come here, you. Damn it! Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Played Entropy 02. Good fun, very emotional. Might play Wolfenstein The Old Blood next. That or Heretic Hexen Trilogy. Missed my super, by the way. Oh, let me back up and see it. Late night, I have been experiencing crouch jamming. Hope this is not a new bug. Crouch jamming. That's problematic. What kind of crouch jamming? Do you have, is it like if you spam it too many times? Seems to be working okay. Or is it on controller mostly? There we go. At least I got a single back smack. Vehicles have new damage effects. Did you hear? I did see that. Let's check it out. You and I. What kind of damage effects are they? Is it like superficial stuff, or have they actually added like new damage states for the vehicles? I saw one part of the Forge World leak. Somebody was playing on that leaked version of Forge World. And the ghost now catches fire, kind of like the old Halo 2 ghost, right? Yes. Yes! Okay. Haven't used it yet, but I don't like the idea of the shroud screen. Why not? How is Season 3? I see you got the game to launch without instantly crashing. Yeah, it took me only a few hours, but I finally got it working. And it's, Brendan, it is Halo Infinite with a DMR that doesn't have a scope. It's, you know, it's still Halo Infinite. The strengths are still strong. The negatives are unfortunately still negative. I unlocked a shoulder. A right shoulder, that is. Can I do these challenges on any other map, or does it unfortunately have to be this new Arena Unlimited playlist? Sometimes I've been noticing slides won't come out, and when spamming crouch while standing still, every once in a while a crouch won't work. Hope this is just on my end. They've modified the way that sliding works, so I wouldn't be surprised if something finicky happens. That's interesting. The background is a little bit different. There's a quarantine setup around that big satellite. There's the new ray tracing options. Yeah, they added ray tracing, but it currently, if I remember right, it only works right now for AMD cards with NVIDIA cards and the Xbox coming later, right? And it also doesn't work in the campaign. It only works in multiplayer. I'm not a fan of the new DMR sound. Are you not a fan of the new DMR sound because you think it sounds bad, or is it that it doesn't really sound like the Reach DMR? Yeah, it seems that way. Hope you're having a good time at least. Have a nice stream, friendo. I appreciate it, Brendan. It's good to hear from you, dude. Chasm is a top 5 map, but Cliffhanger is a contender for the worst one in the game right now. Cliffhanger. Which one's Cliffhanger? Which one is Cliffhanger? Is that the big team battle map? I'm deep into Destiny 2 day 1 raid prep right now. How is Lightfall, Brendan? Honestly. Like, obviously I've heard that the story is a poop from a butt. The Halo 5 DMR sound is better in my opinion. I'm trying to... Oh, I remember the Halo 5 DMR. I thought it sounded a little bit too compressed and crunchy. Like it sounded too synthesized by a computer, I guess. It didn't really sound like a very organic gun sound to me. The issue I think with the Bandit right now is I don't think it has a very unique sound signature. It just kind of sounds like a gun sound, you know? I guess this is cliffhanger, is it? Oh boy. Hello? This... Maybe I'm crazy. Someone else could probably validate my opinion. Does this feel like an Infinite Warfare map? Something about the art and the color palette. It gives me Call of Duty Infinite Warfare vibes. I PM'd you on Twitter a few months back regarding CE's busted cutscenes in the MCC. Could you please check it out? I'm pretty desperate for attention. Yeah, I saw it, by the way. I have submitted it to the appropriate people. So hopefully something's done about it. What I would say is also for you, submit a bug report. I know that that's a meme at this point, because it's like, as far as MCC is concerned, those don't seem to really do anything. But do it just in case, just so that they can log the bug. Oof. I don't really like the M40 sound. The reason I often use the sidekick is because it sounds cool. The M40. Is that the assault rifle? Yeah, I mean, yeah. The assault rifle's audio profile, I think, took a bit of a dip after Halo 4. Like, Halo 4 was almost like peak. You know, I kind of wish that going forward they had built off the Halo 4 sound for it. Because Bungie, they landed on that Browning stock sound effect in Halo 3. And they put it to really good use in Halo Reach. And then Halo 4 invented a new sound effect that was very unique in the audio spectrum. It was really good sounding. It was that, like, crunchy, rattly... but then with Halo 5, I don't know what happened, and it's kind of the same in Halo Infinite. It's not a very unique sound profile, you know? But yeah, Sidekick's pretty alright. I've submitted hundreds of bug reports, LOL. Yeah, and let me guess, none of them did anything. More creative layouts, though. Like, again, with this map, too, just the theme of all the DLC maps are more creative than the launch maps for the game. Because this, dare I say, it feels kind of like a classic Halo map. Just something about how much more, like, open it is. Bro, can we just have the Halo Combat Evolved or the Anniversary Assault Rifle sound back? It sounded the best, in my opinion. Dude, the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Assault Rifle. That is such a good sound for the Assault Rifle, dude. Like, the Combat Evolved Anniversary has so many problems, but one of the things that is not a problem is the audio design for it. Every single remastered sound in that game is excellent. It's top tier. Like, really, really good stuff.
Halfway to victory.
It kind of takes me by surprise whenever people say that the Combat Evolved Anniversary sounds are bad, because it's like... They sound just like the regular Combat Evolved sounds, but they've got like an extra layer of bass to them, or like a new gun added to the mix. They're very faithful. Dare I say more faithful than Halo 2 Anniversary's sound design.
Resonance cascade confirmed.
Oh boy. A resonance cascade. Where have I heard that from? A resonant... Half-Life. That's what I'm thinking of. I was like, I played something in the last year where a resonant cascade was like a major plot point. Yeah, it was Half-Life. Halo 1 had the best AR design. Dude, Halo 1 had the best everything. The assault rifle, pistol, shotgun, plasma rifle. Halo Combat Evolved's sandbox, like certain gameplay aspects, like kind of like the floaty movement, you know, some of the lack of friction just because of the age of the game. Like all of that is, you know, fine and good for nitpicking, but the sandbox, it was very, very solid from the get-go. Oh boy. In my opinion, the CE anniversary and music and sound effects are better. Maybe not better, because I think better is very subjective, you know? But the sound effects I definitely think are very good sounding. They sound beefy and weighty while also being, like, respectful, I guess, of their roots. Like, they don't sound kind of, like, out of place in the audio spectrum. Music, though, I do think the music often misses the mark. But that could just be totally a side effect of, like, improved production value. Because there are some songs, like Under Cover of Night, where it is almost one-to-one, probably because they use some of the same, like, Roland sound systems and same plugins that Marty O'Donnell used, just now they can record them in a higher bit rate. But then there's some stuff, like I think the male choir in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary doesn't sound quite as... It doesn't sound quite as mysterious as the one Marty concocted back in the early 2000s. I loved CE's health system, was never a fan of regenerating health. What works quite a lot about Combat Evolved's health system is the tension that it adds to gameplay. It's not necessarily about difficulty, it's more about tension in combat. So the idea is, with regenerating health, you get out of a firefight and then you're back to square one. Like, there's nothing more you need to do. All of your health is back. But in Combat Evolved, you kind of limp out of these gunfights. And so, while you're also looking for better weapons around the environment and enemies as you're moving through the environment, you have one extra thing that you have an excuse to hunt for, and it's medkits. And that moment of, like, oh, thank God, like, it's like finding water in the middle of a desert when you find a health kit and you're low on health. You know, it adds a bit of tension to the gameplay. It doesn't necessarily make Halo Combat Evolved harder. It just means that there are more highs and lows and dips in the gameplay rhythm versus you get out of the gunfight and you're immediately back to full health. How do you feel about Infection without the old shotgun? I don't think Infection in Halo Infinite's going to be... Well, it's going to be awesome just because of the aesthetic of it. Like, the Banished AI stuff looks really cool. As well as, like, thank God we finally have Infection. Like, I can start making my own, like, custom games again that I remember making in Reach. But as far as the actual combat loop, I don't think it's going to hit with the Bulldog. Like, part of what makes Infection fun, this is speaking as someone who lived and breathed with the Living Dead playlist in Halo Reach. Like, that was my bread and butter. Nothing is as tense as when you've got 4 zombies barreling down on you and your shotgun is completely empty, and you can't just put a new magazine in. You've got to put one shell at a time. Each bullet must count. And sometimes you've got to stop reloading early, and you've only got 3 shots. So you've got to, you know, boom, boom, boom. You kill 3 zombies, and now whack that final zombie with your empty shotgun. Like, that's a layer of tension baked into the way that the gun functions that the Bulldog just inherently cannot provide. like Infection in Halo 5, it didn't hit for the same reasons. If I remember right, when it launched, everybody had assault rifles or something, and it was just like, this isn't the same. I could totally be mistaken. Regarding Infection, don't bash it till you try it. With Infection, there...
King of the Hill. Now
I can say without trying it that it's like, yeah, the Bulldog's not going to be nearly as much fun. It's like one of those things where it's like, there isn't much to add to... They're replacing the shell-loading shotgun with a magazine-fed shotgun. That doesn't add anything to the experience. It actually removes something from the experience mechanically. And I know because I've played custom games kind of like that in Halo 3 with like maulers and stuff like that, or Halo 5 with the assault rifle. It's like, I know I've been playing Infection that long that I can tell you without even trying it that shell-loading shotguns are more fun for Infection game types than magazine-fed weapons. Oh boy. Damn it, okay. I wonder if the Mangler would be better for Infection over the Bulldog. I don't even know about that. The Mangler maybe purely from like a range perspective, because I think the Sidekick has a lot of range and a lot of accuracy to it. And that could potentially be problematic if the zombies don't have shields, so you can just bop, 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 and you're just headshotting people from across the map. That could be pretty annoying if the zombies don't have good cover. But the Mangler, just because of how hard it is to land shots from a distance, it might work.
power items have.
That one's a little bit harder to say. But as far as it being a replacement for the shotgun, that I also is like, I'm like, I don't think it would work. Living Dead playlist was my defining multiplayer experience, right? Dude, I would come back after school and spend hours playing Living Dead. Sometimes if I had a buddy hang out, we would also load into Reach multiplayer online playing Living Dead. What's to say the Bulldog will be used for Infection? The leaks. The leaks. People have already... I've already watched the footage that's leaked online of 343's new Infection. And it looks about what I assumed it would be, which is Infection with a Bulldog. Did they add the double-barreled shotgun? Not yet. The double-barreled shotgun is still on the way. The double barrel shotgun looks like a lot of fun, though. And in fact, I almost wonder if the double barrel might be interesting in Infection.
Dynamo grenades.
Because what's kind of cool about the double barrel shotgun is they're doing a bit more than just it's a double barrel shotgun and that's it. Like there's gravity effects added to it because it's a brute weapon. I wish Infinite had the Brute Shot instead of the Hydra. They fill the same kind of sandbox role, but the Brute Shot had so much more personality. I don't think they had a lot in common, the Hydra and the Brute Shot. The Hydra is kind of like, it's a lock-on anti-personnel rifle, right? Where the Brute Shot, it's more of just kind of like this spammy, like, concussive weapon where you just, it's not really about the killing, it's about the disrupting, where you're just like throwing people, objects, vehicles around in the environment, as well as giving AI enemies something fun to fire at the player that won't necessarily kill the player, just disrupt whatever they're up to by throwing them into corners and stuff. Yeah, people are asking about the double barrel. Yeah, it was data mined and leaked. There is a banished double barrel shotgun coming to the game. And on top of that, it has gravity effects, which is cool. I love weapons that have dual purposes. Like, it's a gun, but it also does this thing. I freaking love when weapons in Halo do that. Brute Shot was a grenade launcher. It was kind of, wasn't it? Living Dead Halo 3 on Halloween weekend, double XP, life is good. Hot take, I'd rather get new guns that have more dynamic elements like the Ravager's Charge Shot or returning guns like the SMG and Sticky Detonator over a fourth mid-range precision rifle. That's how I feel. I think what I think is going on with the Bandit, why it was kind of like fast-tracked into the, or not fast-tracked, it took a goddamn year and a half to get into the game, but part of the reason I think it was added over something more mechanically interesting is just because the battle rifle in this game, it's not competitively viable. It's not a very good battle rifle. It's not a good Halo battle rifle. So it seems, unfortunately, that their solution is, instead of fixing it and making it good, they just added a different gun and spent a year developing it instead of other weapons. I do hope that this benefits the HCS community, though, because they've needed a win, man.
Shortened. Light show successful.
Cinder Shot is more analogous to the Brute Shot. Yes, yeah, I'm with Andrew. I think the Cinder Shot, if you want to do comparisons, the Cinder Shot is more the way to go. Threw on down a shroud screen. Doesn't know I'm up here. Well, he probably does now because he can just look at his radar, right? Oh, man. Let's run this way. Damn it. Okay. Other than the crashing, how's the season so far? Performance-wise as well. Outside of some weird hitching in the main menu, every time you look at your customization stuff, performance has actually been solid, and it's also been consistent, which has been a pleasant surprise. It's too early to tell if they actually fixed the frame pacing bug that's been in there since the pre-release flights, but I have not noticed frame pacing issues yet. You know, time will tell. Okay. This is the new plasma pistol, right? Does it charge up faster? Damn it. Okay. There's no such thing as a good Halo battle rifle. It has always been oppressively peculiar. That's true, I guess. There has always been the closest to good when it comes to the Halo battle rifle, which I would put Halo 2 and Halo 3 with 1,000 asterisks next to it as the two good Halo battle rifles. Damn it. Have you checked out the new screen when you select the campaign? It's pretty cool. I have seen that. There's a new screen for the campaign. Hey man, I'm getting bored. Want to boot up an episode of Transformers and deep dive Sonic lore? Absolutely. I'll load up, you know, some Transformers. We'll blast it at full volume, and then we'll start gushing about Sonic lore over the Transformers audio. I heard the next DLC for Sonic Frontiers might be on the way, which is exciting. I hope it's good.
Vital signs not found.
What I'm really looking forward to, though, is watching the next Star Wars with Rebecca. Oh boy. Damn it. Okay. What about desync? I have no clue what's going on with desync at this point. Halo Infinite doesn't feel great to play still. There is still a lot of, like, oddities. I've noticed some rubber banding from myself and other players, so not much has changed there. I'm not familiar enough with Halo Infinite's various network-relating issues to comment on if they have finally fixed desync or not. Did you and Rebecca get a hamster? We did. That's a hamster cage in the background. It charges slower, I believe. Okay, gotcha. That's what I thought. I low-key don't like the Halo 3 BR. I like the Halo... I appreciate the Halo 3 BR more than I like it, I guess is the best way to put it. Halo 3's battle rifle has a lot of excellent ideas, and if Halo was to have another crack at that concept, then I think we could have a winner as far as Halo's definitive battle rifle, but you'd really need to get rid of the random bullet spread, and you'd have to clean up the netcode a little bit. But a projectile system instead of a hit scan system, I think, is the way to go for Halo's precision weapons. Speaking of Star Wars, I don't know if this question has been asked already. Have you seen Andor? It was good, right? We've not seen Andor yet, but we might have to see Andor. Andor is one of those shows where I'm not the biggest fan of Rogue One, so I didn't really care about that character Andor. But people say that Andor's really good, so I may have to actually watch it with Rebecca. It also helps that it's like, you know, more Star Wars to watch. Oh boy, oh boy.
5 minutes remaining.
I can't believe I survived that. If my buddy hadn't helped me out right there, I'd be doomed. Doomed, I say.
Vital signs not found.
Oh boy. Oh god, we gotta get out of here. I gave away my position that I had a hammer. Damn it. Do you think 343 will add a Halo 3 map veto system? I doubt it. I doubt they'll ever do that. And it's not just because of 343. It's like this industry-wide thing. They don't really like map voting or vetoing or anything like that. Which there is some, you know, some validity to. Like, it ensures that you will never, ever see certain maps. But... breaking news, gravity hammer physics affect teammates. They do now? That's exciting. What about enemies? What is the hamster's name? The hamster's name is Mochi. It's Mochi. Or our nickname, which I blurted out one early morning, as I was delirious waking up from a deep sleep. Spudgy. Projectile based is better than hit scan. Sue me. Projectile based is better than hit scan because it ensures that weapons are balanced at a range and that it takes quite a bit of skill in order to land those range shots, which means you have less pressure when you're running around a map that's quite wide open. And then when you're close quarters, well, the bullets travel so fast that you won't even notice if they're projectile or not. So it's a win-win situation, you know?
Okie dokie.
Holy crap, what is going on? Okay. Hasn't it been broken like this for a while, the AI buddy screen? The patch is 23 gigabytes. I know. Hopefully a lot of that is optimizations to already existing stuff, like re-downloading files that are more optimized, but
Slayer.
Spudgy has the exact same energy as Corby. He does kind of, doesn't it? The one thing I liked about Halo 5's ADS was the design. Like, the UNSC weapons felt like the screens came from the HUD, not the gun itself. The bolt shot and plasma pistol looked off. Yeah, it's I don't like Halo 5's aiming down the sights mechanic. I don't think it has a place in Halo. But that does not stop the actual, like, art and UI team from doing a lot of really cool work with it. Even the Promethean weapons, when you aimed down the sights with them, they had some awesome-looking animations. The suppressor, I think, still might be one of the most satisfying weapons in a shooter to aim down the sights with. Just the, like, chunk, and it's on the right side of the screen, and they're, like, shivering unsteadily as they try to maintain their position. And then you lower it back down to your hip, and kunk, and the weapon just folds back in on itself. Really satisfying animations and sound design. Oh boy. Damn it. Waddle Dees are better. Hey, man. When it comes to Kirby, Kirby's, I've tried getting into that, like, what's better in Kirby, and Rebecca always shuts me down because she's like, Kirby's not that kind of franchise. Kirby's not that kind of franchise where we argue about what is better. All Kirby is good. Waddle Dees are great. Kirby is great. DDD is great. And she's kind of right. Leave that stuff to Halo, where we bicker and argue about what Green Man looks the best. The Green Man from 2001 with 4 polygons. He looked way better than the current Green Man, who has more polygons than cells I have in my body.
Power items ordered. Confirmed.
I love the light rifle animation too. Yeah, when you aim down the sights with the light rifle and the scope like unfolds and comes up to your dude. Halo 5, not my favorite Halo game by any stretch, but goddamn if the animation team didn't knock it out of the park. Talking about projectiles, have you noticed that the rocket projectile velocity is way faster in Infinite than other Halo titles? I haven't. That's interesting. Is it like the Halo 5 rocket launcher? Because remember the Halo 5 rocket launcher, that's part of why they patched it eventually out of matchmaking in Halo 5, or at least like the arena spawns. It wasn't because, you know, nostalgia or whatever. It was for mechanics' sake. I guess a lot of people had problems with the Halo 5 rocket launcher and how fast the rockets moved. What is that over there? I heard what sounded like thunder. Are there, like, distant idle things happening off map? Oh, boy. Dude, I wish that there was some weapons laying on the ground, like, in the middle of that bridge right there. I still hate that they're all just, like, attached to these weapon racks. Like, I understand that, like, as graphics get more complex, like, a tiny little, gun gray metal pistol is gonna blend into, like, a grassy field. You know, it's gonna be harder to spot that stuff. But there's gotta be a better way than stapling all the guns to, like this, where it's just like, come on, man. Why is there this, like, UNSC thing on the side of a rock? You know, you could put a bulldog right there at the bottom of the stairs. I could pick it up. It keeps matches flowing a little bit better. I feel like I don't need to constantly hug walls, lest I move out into the open, and now I know for a fact that there will be no guns out here for me to find. Like, there's gotta be a better way. I feel like Halo 5, the weapon outline system, it was probably a fine middle ground, right? That, like, the weapons are laying on the ground, yes, but they have these giant outlines around them. So there's a lot less room for missing them, I guess. You know, or maybe even try, like, the Combat Evolved thing of every gun that's laying on the ground is kind of supersized. Like, the scaling of it is a little bit off. That way it kind of, like, really pops. Need some more ammo for this thing. Yeah, here, we're getting rid of the Bandit. Unfortunately, it's almost out of ammo. Oh, boy. Get to cover. I remember one of the first things I did with the plasma pistol at launch was kill somebody with it. That was back when Halo Infinite was, like, really popping, so everybody was trying it. So, you know, you had your matches where people didn't quite know what they were doing.
Killing spree. Your power items are ready for pickup. Galactic Holiday.
You can use the AI scan. I know I can use the AI scan. It's not a problem of I don't know where the guns are. What I mean is, like, it just weapons not being arbitrarily locked to these weapon racks. It allows for more freedom in terms of, like, the sandbox placement. Because, like I said, you can have weapons just laying out in a field. There doesn't need to be a rock there so that you can put a thing on it. It's just, I haven't seen a lot of benefits from the weapon rack system. I've just seen a lot of drawbacks. Every map kind of feels the same because all the weapons are placed the exact same way. There isn't a lot of variety in weapon placement anymore from a map-to-map basis. You know, every map is attached to the wall, or every gun is attached to the wall.
5 minutes remaining.
Every power weapon is on one of these little floating pad things. You can't have, like, you know, the little spotlight and then the hallway and then the rocket launcher just laying against the wall right there for anybody to pick up. Or, you know, a pair of battle rifles just laying against the wall like on Sand Trap. I can't believe I killed him. Oh, that was a bot. That's why I could kill him.
In my sights.
Let's go up here. This map's not too bad. I hope that doesn't come to bite me later. Come on, shields. Do it. All right.
Trigger mechanism is functioning at 100%.
Dude, the pulse carbine's gotten crazy since its buffs. Because I think there were multiple buffs, right? There was that first buff, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, they made one more modification to it with the latest update, right?
Victory!
All right. This map gives me Halo Reach vibes. Do you think the weapon rack thing is a technical limitation or just stubborn design? It's stubborn design, but I understand where the stubbornness comes from, where it originates from. The idea is supposed to be as graphics get better, the weapons are blending into the terrain better. They're more realistically rendered. So like a tiny little pistol or like a rifle, like you're not gonna notice it well shaded, you know, in like a rock crevice somewhere. Like players are gonna run by it a lot easier. So they're coming up with a system to make it pop in the environment a little bit more, like make it more noticeable. You don't accidentally run past certain items. As well as just making it generally easier for new players to play Halo. That's what I think it is. I think that you could do that. You could make weapons laying on the ground more accessible, without necessarily using a weapon rack system. One of the ways that I would have done it was supersizing weapons a little bit, where when they're laying on the ground, they are a little bit bigger than they normally would be in the player's hands, kind of like Combat Evolved, how kind of like comically oversized everything looks laying on the ground. Another solution might be doing a Resident Evil style glint, you know, where every 3 seconds a shimmer moves across the surface of the weapon and then a bling, like a little sun glint to kind of like draw your eye to it. And then, you know, another thing would be exactly what 343 has been doing, which is this weapon outline system, which I used to be very annoyed with, because it's like, this is a new thing and new things are bad. But I've grown to see the value in it, like why 343 did it and what value it adds to people who maybe aren't so good at kind of like, you know, scouring the floor for weapons. Cliffhanger actually looks a bit different on Escalation Slayer. It does?
Acquired.
What does it look like on Escalation Slayer? Damn it. Just put a circle around the gun. Like a little circle. Another thing that could probably be done is the thing that Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer does, where you've got kind of like a little waypoint marker above the weapon, though that I could see being easily obnoxious if you've got like too many weapons all crowded around one space. So I retract that immediately. I don't know. I'm very good at finding weapons in Halo because I've been doing it for so long. So I'm not really in need of accessibility options like that. But what would be a good way to where you could provide the accessibility option of being able to find weapons easily without actually affecting game design, you know?
Order confirmed.
There we go. Yeah, the Bandit's pretty good. All it needs is a D-scope, and this is perfect as a starting weapon for competitive play in this game. That is if they're not going to go back and fix the battle rifle. Oh boy. Oh, man. Damn it. I should not have started to reload. Another problem with the outline is that it looks really bad. The outline in this game? Or the outline, like, on players? Or are we talking about weapon outlines or player outlines? Player outlines, that's a different story. I don't think Halo needs player outlines. I think that was a... It's kind of like the weapon racks. It's accessibility compromising game design rather than being a clever, subtle way to provide accessibility for those who need it.
Dynamo grenades obtained. Please
Alrighty.
remain calm. Life expectancy.
Dude, I love this thing. Very, very positive addition, the Bandit.
Bullets successfully delivered.
Granted, a lot of this is just me, unfortunately, cheesing the brute electricity grenade.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh, man.
Your power
That
items
wasn't
are
fair. That guy spawned right in my line of sight. Damn it. Okay. Infinite's weapon racks, in my opinion, are nicely implemented. They wouldn't make sense in campaign, but clear info and readability trumps aesthetic immersion in multiplayer. Well, it's not necessarily aesthetic immersion. It's also just variety. Because you can't have... Imagine if you're like making a multiplayer map that's set in a field of dry grass. And that's kind of the gimmick, you know, is you've got massive stretches of dry grass. If you use the weapon rack system, by design, you cannot place a weapon in that field. You just can't. You will have to place a tree or a rock there so that you can bolt this thing to the tree and put a weapon in that thing. That's kind of the problem with it, is you can't just have a gun on a table in a room, or have a gun laying against a tree, or have a gun just laying on the ground at the feet of some stairs. Like, it will always need to be on the wall. And even from then, you've also got to think about, like, how nonsensical it would be if you had too many guns laying against the wall. Think of, like, do you remember in Sandtrap that hallway, the hallways of the ruins? How there would be multiple battle rifles leaning against the wall, because the idea is it's a big team battle match. Anybody can pick up the weapons they need, and there's plenty to go around. That would look comical in Halo Infinite, right? Back to back of those UNSC wall racks on the wall in a brute ruin. Like, it would look silly. It would kind of like stand out and be awkward.
for procurement.
It would look ugly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's... Aesthetics definitely matter, but it is also even just about, like, practicality and giving the developers much freedom to kind of craft diverse combat situations. And I don't think that the weapon rack system allows freedom right now. I think there's more restrictions currently. Why is there no scope on the DMR? There's no scope, I assume, because they're trying to kind of keep the DMR close range, or relatively close range. It has an insane amount of range. I think that's the idea, at least. How many more seasons do you think we'll get before the game goes into maintenance mode?
5 minutes remaining.
Let me think. They lost a huge chunk of their animation department. So animating first-person weapons, also animating cutscenes is basically a no. They don't have the manpower to do that. Animating weapons entirely depends. I'd imagine once Joe Staten's, like, what he has planned narratively. So probably up to season 6, I'd say. After that, what we'll probably start seeing is a scaling down of the production value of these seasons. Like, less crazy narrative cutscene-y type stuff and more, like, go to Waypoint to read this, like, blog. They'll probably always be making seasons to some extent, where, you know, depending on what constitutes a season to you, but the production value, I'd imagine, it's only gonna last a handful more seasons, maybe 3 or 4 max, and then we'll start to see a dip in quality when, like, you know, the effects of the layoffs really start to become prevalent. Because they lost a lot of really talented people that were responsible for the production value that we're currently experiencing in this season.
Vital signs not found.
Ground-based weapon pads are also a thing. You don't necessarily need to make them power weapon exclusive. That's true, but currently the way 343 is doing things is they do have them be power weapon exclusive, which is kind of annoying. But that's something I was thinking about is, what if you had kind of like what if they used those weapon drops from Halo 3 and Halo 2? Remember the way that the UNSC ships could deploy weapons from orbit and they'd be in those green canisters? In Big Team Battle, they're a scripted thing, but what if you just made it like a prop that you could place on Forge maps? That way, you know, if you go run out into the field, you can have that canister there that telegraphs to players that there's a weapon in it. You could even bring back from Halo 3 the Covenant weapon carriers. Remember those, like, those gravity things that contained weapons? It doesn't necessarily need to be all wall-mounted. Grim, not gonna lie, for those people, I recommend Titanfall 2 to Lightfall players to grapple onto a flying rocket while giving them the middle finger to a random blueberry. Are we talking about Lightfall currently? The PvE enjoyers have nothing to look forward to, not a word on a potential firefight mode or Warzone-esque game modes. It's replay campaign and fight the same encounters over and over again or do nothing. Well, thankfully, Firefight was also data mined. Jeff Seitzer has some new quotes, and what's also very juicy and exciting is it's not like, "Welcome to Firefight, Spartans. This is a simulation. Round 1, protect the generator." It's like classic Firefight. Like, one of the first things Jeff Seitzer says is, set start. Tough, yeah. I just had a brain fart. I was going to say tough eye on, which that's not a skull. But, yeah, it's exciting. Some of the leaks, hopefully they, you know, come to pass at some point. I'll laugh if Tatanka actually gets built in the Unreal Engine and those speaking against it get proven wrong. I'm not gonna laugh. I'm just gonna be sad if it is actually built in the Unreal Engine, because the problem with slip space is not slip space. It's the maintenance of slip space and how well it's been taken care of over the years. It's one of those things where, you know, Marty O'Donnell told me something a long time ago that I am actively starting to agree with more and more, which is Microsoft's way of designing video games is just not compatible with the way that the Halo series works. And Microsoft's way of developing video games is a rotating door philosophy, where instead of permanent employees, you have a revolving door of contractors. That way you don't need to give them, you know, like, you don't have to give them their due diligence for staying on long term. You can cut them loose after 2 years. And because of that, you've got this in-house proprietary technology that does kind of rely on long-term use and employees staying for a while and becoming intimately familiar with it. It would be one thing if Halo ran on the Unreal Engine, which is very open and a lot of developers are familiar with it. That's why, like, Bungie, you know, their proprietary technology, they're working with it, and it seems to be working pretty well because the studio internally has been using it for so long. They're very familiar with it. Where with 343, they're struggling with Bungie's technology because every 2 years, it's a whole bunch of new people, and nobody quite knows how to use this engine. And it's like, as long as Microsoft keeps sticking to this contractor formula, I don't think, you know, 343 is going to really benefit from using the Slipspace engine, and that's kind of why it's fallen to the wayside. It's just kind of become this very disorganized mess of code. And that's why they're probably switching over to the Unreal Engine. It's because, like, well, we're not getting rid of this contractor-focused company structure, so we might as well switch over to an engine that more developers are intimately familiar with, which is Unreal. And what's kind of sad about the switch over to the Unreal Engine is it means there's going to be a lot less innovation. There's going to be a lot less kind of like in-house solutions to things or groundbreaking new technology, because it's all going to be up to Epic Games. You know, Halo won't really be able to evolve or do interesting things without the say-so of Epic Games. You know, and whatever groundbreaking achievements Halo developers are able to make with Unreal, well, that's going to be part of the Unreal Engine, not 343.
Double kill.
And it just kind of sucks, you know? On one hand, 343 will probably benefit from switching to Unreal, but on the other hand, Halo games going forward are going to start feeling a hell of a lot like other games on the market. More so than, you know, for some people probably already think 343 games do. Yeah, tough eye. Yeah, so some people are celebrating the switch to the Unreal Engine. I'm just like, I'm sad, because that means the death of the Halo game engine, the proprietary technology that has powered Halo and made Halo feel unique. Even with Halo 5 and Halo Infinite's problems, the legacy code that Bungie had built, it's still here, and it is still helping these games feel unique. A Halo 5 type game, but in the Unreal Engine, that really is just going to feel like Call of Duty. See, you're not going to have any stuff like this in the Unreal Engine. You can modify the Unreal Engine. No, you can modify the Unreal Engine, but you can't do it as freely as you could if it was your own in-house engine. Like, if you wanted to make dramatic changes to the Unreal Engine, innovative changes to it, you wouldn't be able to just do it on your own. It would have to be with Epic Games, because it's not your technology. You don't want Unreal Halo because of engine pedigree. I don't want Unreal Halo because I don't want Sweeney's mitts on the franchise. We're not the same. Yeah, well, there's also that. I don't want Tim Sweeney anywhere near Halo.
New construction applied.
Isn't Bungie's engine very glitchy and not that reliable? Depends. Under 343, it's become very glitchy and unreliable, not because of the engine, but because of the way the engine has been taken care of. Under Bungie, the engine worked. They took care of the engine, and the people who worked at Bungie were familiar with the engine and the way it worked. And they were able to squeeze some pretty impressive things out of it. You know, that, it's called Tiger, I think, under Bungie currently, but their Destiny branch of the Halo engine, it was built off of, basically the timeline of Halo technology, I guess what we currently understand as Halo technology. You know, we could start with Combat Evolved if we wanted. It honestly goes back way further to like a myth. But starting with Combat Evolved, then you add Halo 2, then you add Halo 3, And then starting with Halo 3, the engine branched. And the one branch eventually evolved into the Destiny engine that Bungie is still using. The other branch went on to do Halo Reach, and then Halo 4, 5, and now Infinite. And you can see a lot of differences in the way that the technology has changed. You know, under Bungie, I would argue that it feels a little bit more stable, a little bit more fluid. Where under 343, it's become very chunky, very buggy, very glitchy, and very unwieldy. And it's not because of the technology or the age of the technology. It's just because of how well it's been kept up. You know, and with 343, when you're kind of like, you know, every 2 years, you've got a whole host of new employees now working on this engine they've never heard of before. Like, it's no wonder that with Bungie, where they don't need to worry about contract work versus 343, clearly the engine has benefited in one type of studio over another.
Accurately placed.
The problem is no one knows how to untangle the code a 6-month contractor wrote. It's a tangled mess of code that basically needs to be reverse engineered. I'm not sure about that. From what I understand, 343's current contractors are doing an excellent job of actually like documenting and kind of untangling the mess that the game was at launch. But there is a lot of that. A famous story I've heard was getting an explanation for why the Phantom flights look so bad in Halo Infinite. Like, compare the way the Phantoms moved in the Bungie games, how fluidly they glided through the air, versus Halo Infinite, where it's like these harsh turns, and like you can literally see the line that the Phantom needs to follow through the air. The reason why is because the guy or guys who designed the Phantom pathing in the air, they haven't been at 343 for years. So many years that nobody currently at 343 is entirely sure of how it works. And so they more or less had to hack it in the campaign to get the Phantoms to work, and it really shows. You know, they don't look very good in the campaign. Perfect. Oh boy.
Celebration.
Damn it. Are 343 going to re-add the color orange for emblems? I want my orange back. What I would suggest is ask them to bring back color customization. Trust me, don't take your foot off that pedal, okay? The Slip Space engine has a lot of technical issues, and it definitely wasn't ready to handle an open world game. Campaign runs like ass, and there's things like drawing distance that simply doesn't work. Oh, for the open world stuff? Yeah, Halo's the Slip Space engine, it works really well in like instanced environments, like linear levels where you can go through loading zones and be able to kind of close off the previous section. It's really good at faking a large open environment more than literally placing you in one, you know? You think of like the second level of Halo Combat Evolved and how it did feel like you were outside when really you were actually in a corridor, just a very wide corridor. Thoughts on the Halo Crisis Core? I don't care, man. I don't care. I'm sure an artist got paid a lot of money for that, and I hope that it was worth it. I just don't care, because that Crisis Core, it doesn't exactly let me play Firefight, does it? Cosmetics are not content. It's narcissism. It doesn't make the game better. It makes you feel better about yourself until you're bored of the game. Is there water in Forge yet? I'm not sure, actually. I know that it was leaked, and it was pretty cool because it was kind of what people were asking for ever since Halo 5, which is essentially just sheets, animated sheets that you can scale up and down, and it looked like that, at least. Did you see that guy's waist do that crazy thing off in the distance? Oh, this isn't the Bandit. Here, give me the Bandit. It's funny how content dry games are when you remove cosmetics from the equation. Yeah, like cosmetics aren't content. It's just, you know, it doesn't improve the game. Cosmetics are a part of the game, but when the core game has problems, I think that the last thing people should be talking about are cosmetics. And I mean, I kind of have learned to just shut up, you know, because I've tried bringing that up in the past, back when Halo Infinite launched and everyone got mad. So it's like, okay, you know what? I won't talk about the cosmetics anymore. And the only discussions I'm seeing on the Halo subreddit and stuff are like how good the cosmetics look or how good this looks and the prices on the store. And it's like very little discussions about bringing back certain systems, expanding certain modes, maps, features, you know. It's just, it's a lot of cosmetic-driven discussion. Oh boy, let's run away. Because I think I saw that guy with a rocket. Oh man! Damn it, I knew I was going to be dead. They leaked water in Season 7. Pipes beneath. Pipes beneath Season 7? I think water is next season. Okay, that's what I thought. Can I share a clip I just made of this live stream? Sure. What is the clip? Not sticking around, but I hope the stream's going well. I'm assuming what has happened is when Steam was patching the files, something went wrong. Has happened to me before. That's what I assume went wrong. People have already said what they want, though. There's only so many ways to say we want infection. That's true. That is definitely true. Yeah, unfortunately, there's just so many issues with the game. Luke and I, Hidden Xperia, we really kind of like kick ourselves in the shins over saying that this game had a strong foundation. Because if it did have a strong foundation, it wouldn't have taken a year and a half to add a DMR without a scope. It's more like they launched a game with no foundation and have had to slowly patch in the foundation. Oh boy. I'm glad Retro knocked Metroid out of the park. It just means that my childhood isn't totally dead. Dude, the Metroid remaster is really good, right? Like, it's really next level stuff. Like, I think as far as, like, remasters are concerned, that probably set, like, a new bar for how to handle an update to an old game. Even for a Switch game, it looks really good. I almost couldn't believe how good it looked at certain points.
5 minutes remaining.
Let's grab the bulldog.
Shotgun procured.
seen the leaked stalker rifle coatings? I've just seen that it's coming. I haven't actually looked at the coatings because like that doesn't really excite me. But hey, for the people who care, that's cool, I guess. Might hop off the stream soon. Have a good one, squad. Yeah, me too, I think, after this game at least. Oh boy. Alright. This is gonna be the end of the match. If they can get a kill. There we go. Alright. Yeah, guys. I think that's up for me, too. I hope the next Metroid looks similar to the remake. The next Metroid, if they keep the same system of, like, boxed-in rooms and doors, because that's what I think makes the Metroid Remaster look so good, despite it running on a Switch, is that, there aren't a lot of large environments, are there? It's like a series of rooms, and in order to progress, you have to open doors. So basically, door opens, new room is rendered, previous room is erased. So each room can have like a ridiculously high level of visual fidelity. For a Switch game, that is. Kinda despise the takes I've seen on open world Halo. I'd love to see the concept expanded on and refined, but no, gotta throw the entire bathroom out. We only want level-based Halos from now on. Yeah, that's definitely a problem, which is kind of like constantly throwing out formulas and trying all over again from scratch. I think open world Halo can work, but I also do think that level-based Halo is preferable, I guess, to like Far Cry Halo, because I think some of the best moments in Halo are when you are put in a position that has been carefully and specifically curated by the developer. You know, where it's like, there is the sniper rifle right there, there is a ledge up there, there's a vehicle in front of you, there's a giant thing off in the distance, like, versus you kind of attack the thing from any direction in the level that you want, you have whatever gun you want, and there are no rules to the encounter, you just kind of do whatever you want. That's more of like a Far Cry approach. But yeah, I think open world Halo can work. I think Infinite's open world, there are more pros than cons to it, you know? And there are ways to make it even better, I think. And it would be a shame if they just like immediately trash everything and then try doing a new gimmick. And then, you know, that gimmick doesn't work again. But yeah, guys. This was good fun. Thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you hopefully on whenever the next video is. So